Hello and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. The moment we've been waiting for. Rate cuts are upon us. Do we have confirmation of the rate cuts yet? No, but are we very, very likely to get rate cuts now? Yes. That is what's just unfolded after Jerome Powell's speech. I'll be giving you the key points you need to know about. I've got all the details from that speech. If you missed any part, well, I'm going to go through each of the key points measured. We're going to go through all the crypto charts as well. There's a lot to go through. The bull market is back on. Ethereum's up over 10% today. A lot going on in the market. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Let's get straight into it. Look at the Ethereum candle being printed right now. It is up over 10%. It is a massive candle. We did bounce off those levels around $4,050. Yes, some of you were tuning into my morning show. Was I short? I was short to protect my portfolio in case it went in the opposite way. You'll be glad to know that I took profits once the stream was over. I had still a position opened. That was stopped out as break even. As soon as we heard confirmation that he was talking more about jobs data, I flipped to a long. I am now back in the money, positions closed, and we are running once again. So an amazing day here. Ethereum up 10%. What are the targets now? I'll just quickly run through all of these points because what I expect will happen. I know Martyn's watching this, so hopefully we get confirmation from Martyn, but we're going to quickly run through the charts. Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin. I'll give you the whole synopsis from the speech as well. I've got everything lined up there for you as well. Then we're going to be going to Vaz's premiere on the EVTOL sector. We've got some news coming out for some big moves there. A new industry that we're very excited about. We've got our own expert broadcasting on the channel. Then we've actually got Donald Trump speaking in about on the hour, so in about 53 minutes time. So what I'm hoping to be able to do is continue the stream going. I won't be able to do the Trump stream, but hopefully Martyn will. So I'm expecting to hopefully do about 23 minutes here for you guys. Then on the half hour, Vaz's premiere goes live. And then hopefully, putting Martyn on the spot here, he will come back live with the Trump event on the hour. Let's see if we can keep it running. I think we'll get confirmation from Martyn whether or not that is possible, but that will be the ideal situation. I give you all the charts, all the synopsis. We go to Vaz, then we come back to Martyn on the hour covering the surprise conference from Trump. I'm sure he'll be giving some insights to what he's heard from Jerome Powell. Martyn says, "Who wants that?" Who wants that? Say yes in the chat if you want Martyn to be back live with Trump's event. Let me know in the chat. Let Martyn know in the chat. We need an overwhelming majority. We need everyone to start saying yes in the chat if you want this stream to just continue on such a bullish day. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll get straight into it now. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're on our road to 100,000. We might get there today. Who knows? So let's go through the charts one by one. Everyone's saying yes, 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 Martyn. Let's go. Yes, says Google Eyes. Everyone's saying yes, Martyn. What do you say? Look at this. Everyone's saying yes. Brilliant. How many people do we have in the... We've got 651 people straight off the bat. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, let's get into it. Everyone's saying yes. Keep the streams going. Back to back, back to back. Back for Trump in... Okay, everyone's saying yes. I don't think Martyn can ignore that. Martyn, can you ignore that? Every single member is saying yes. I haven't even seen one no. Martyn, I'm sorry, mate. I know you've had a long day. You've been streaming. You might need to come back. You might need to come back. Okay, let's go into these. Literally everyone's saying yes. Okay, let's get into the charts. Let's just go through them one by one. I'll give you the key levels. Ethereum is literally a couple percent away from all-time highs now. We are looking at Ethereum about 5% away from all-time highs. Remember this chart here. It starts with Bitcoin. We've had Bitcoin. It goes to Ethereum. That's what's happening now. Then the large caps. We're talking XRP, Polkadot, Dogecoin, Avalanche, Litecoin, all this sort of stuff. The large caps then pump. Then we're looking at altcoin season. It looks like we're back on track to see the path to altcoin season. It seems like we are going to get the altcoin season we are hoping for. To celebrate, if anyone's made a lot of money and you want to do a super chat, if you become the top all-time super chatter, Matthias has got the number 1 spot. Remember, you always get recognized in each of my streams. If anyone beats that, I will pop the popper and I'll make a complete mess in my new studio. I'm just putting that out there. Anyway, it seems like the road to altcoin season is back on. And that's very exciting because we are expecting that in October, November, December, we get that altcoin season. It can last 2 weeks to 2 months. And I think that will start kicking off late September into October and maybe into November, December. So that's Ethereum. Maybe I start off with what Jerome Powell said because some people might have missed it. So Jerome Powell just spoke at Jackson Hole event. It wasn't an FOMC meeting, so we were never expecting a rate cut or a pause. We were expecting him to come out and give us an idea of what's going on. If you saw, Motto team of $20. Thank you very much.
Admatoa team donated $19.99 through a super chat. Cheers, everyone.
If anyone does an $151 super chat, not only will you be recognized forever on the top all-time super chat until someone beats you, but we also pop one of these to celebrate an amazing day. I don't know how powerful that is, and I don't know how much mess it will make. I haven't done it before. Anyway, so Jerome Powell just spoke. It wasn't a FOMC meeting, so they're not going to increase or cut rates or hold them. However, what we were talking about in the morning stream, everything was in the newsletter this morning. What we were talking about in that newsletter, was it this one? Is this today's one? I think so. We were talking about what tone is he going to come out with. Was it a dovish one, a hawkish stance, or ambiguity? Obviously, he was going to do a bit of ambiguity with the data dependence. That happened. Then he talked about tariff-driven inflation, but not as much as he talked about the labour market. And that's what created this sentiment that there'll be rate cuts in September. And that the market loved. Shorts got liquidated. I mean, if you're looking at the shorts on Ethereum in the last hour, over $140 million worth of shorts got liquidated. Absolute massive short squeeze there on Ethereum. But what happened in that meeting, if you missed it or if you watched it, well, let me tell you what happened. There was a signal for a potential rate cut. Powell indicated the Fed stance has shifted towards considering a rate cut as soon as September meeting, but stopped short, and remember this is key, but I think you will, it stopped short of making a firm commitment. Market odds for cuts next month remain over 70%, though the deal is not sealed. We got that updated throughout that call, and right now the chance of a rate cut on the Fed Watch tool is now 90%. We're back to 90% chance for a rate cut in September. Wow. That's basically confirmation now. Rate cuts are happening in September. And that's from the tone that Jerome Powell put out there. Remember, this morning in the newsletter, what I said is look out for what he said. And as soon as he said those words as soon as that report came out, literally minutes before he started speaking, we got that dovish tone from Jerome Powell. And that gave you the opportunity to be a bit more confident in your investments. That gave me the opportunity to switch from short to long, and that gave me the opportunity to win. All that research I put in this morning, it was worth it. Anyway, he also said towards that whole rate cut, he was signaling about labour market caution. He emphasised that the job growth has stalled, with recent monthly payroll increases averaging just 35,000 following significant downturn revisions. Downside risks to employment are increasing, but unemployment remains stable at 4.2% due largely to slower labour force growth from immigration changes. So he did address those downside risks, and that's why people think there's going to be rate cuts. Of course, he couldn't just come out and say we're going to cut rates, but he basically did at that point. Wish Sensei would change the newsletter to British spelling. It bugs me. Yeah, Google Eyes, I never know what the right thing to do is. Do I go English spelling? Do I go American spelling? It's really hard for me because obviously I'm English, but most of the people that read the newsletter are American. So sometimes it's a bit of both, but we tend to go for the American spelling. Anyway, Curious Balance. In economy, Powell described the current situation as an unusual balance. The labour market showing signs of weakness while inflation risks persist. Both downside risks to jobs and upside risks to prices are being closely weighed. I'm just giving you a synopsis of what happened at today's speech, and then we'll get into the charts. Fed's policy framework. He stressed the Fed's dual mandate, balancing inflation control and full employment. While rates remained restrictive to curb inflation, softening labour data could prompt a move towards neutral policy stance if risks to both mandates equalise. He also mentioned tariffs and inflation. Powell downplayed inflation impact from tariffs, stating that these may result in a one-time shift in prices rather than a persistent upwards pressure. This was a big point that we hadn't really heard Powell's thoughts on too much, but he sort of made it clear today. He is expecting this to be a one-time shift in prices. He did also mention we don't expect it to be a one-time hit on inflation in terms of the data, but it's not something that will continue to bring inflation up. So we might get a few months of higher CPI and PPI, but apart from that, he is suggesting that it doesn't have to continue. And he did downplay the longer term inflation impact. Remember, we all are always very short-sighted in our investments. We're looking next month, the day after. The Fed's job is to look beyond that. And what he said today, which was very interesting and obviously bullish for the market, is he downplayed the longer term inflation impact from the tariffs. Political pressures highlighted. Powell faced intense scrutiny from White House and President Trump, pushes for rate cuts and criticizes Fed's management. But Powell reiterated the Fed's data-driven and independent approach. He didn't make a sort of a legacy claim. He didn't change anything, which is interesting because a lot of people that don't like Jerome Powell would say he would have tried to make a big action there about the independence and what he wants to change. But he didn't. He was there data-driven and gave us his thoughts. The market reaction was absolutely incredible. I mean, we've seen what we're witnessing it as we speak. Ethereum up 10%, the S&P 500 up over 1%. So now let's go through our charts one by one. So stay with me because we'll go through the charts, then we'll end the show. I think, Martyn, is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing? Everyone said yes. Are we? If we're doing that, can we schedule Vaz's premiere for past, so then it can go straight to you after for Trump? I'm sure Martyn's listening. I will be ending in about 10 minutes time, so I'll go through all the charts, then we'll go over to Vaz, and then hopefully we'll go back to Martyn for the Trump event. If you are watching live, get us to 100,000 subscribers. All you have to do is press the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share this out. Going over to our charts, Ethereum is currently at $4,647. We are now, remember, I just showed you this. We've got Martyn calling in. Martyn is calling in. Let me bring him live on the show. Let me
16 donated $4.99.
Let me do this and bring.
At Martyn, what do you think about calling back-to-back shows a pub crawl?
Sorry about all that. Yes, of course. So what we're going to do, Sensei, Vaz is a premiere, is about to go live. Everyone needs to see this because it's the new emerging sector. And with rates coming down, this is the stock that's going to blow up. EV tolls. You want to watch this breaking story. We've just got a great lead from JP Morgan saying 50% upside. That was before the rate cut hint, which is kind of confirmed. You're dead right there, Sensei. So you've got to see that. It's only 5 minutes long. So Sensei will finish. It will take you to that premiere.
Donated
There's another one. The show's gone mad. Watch that premiere all the way through. At the very end, it will automatically take you to me being live covering Donald Trump's speech. God knows where he's doing it. Sensei, if you know where he's doing it, let me know. Or someone else does, let me know.
He's doing it in a museum, but I'm not sure where it's being live streamed.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be everywhere. I'll find it. Don't you worry. I'll find it. So Sensei, I've got to get this finished. Send everyone to Vaz's. It will go live on the half hour. And then straight after that, after 5 minutes, a very, very short video, but you need to get the news of that. Join me for the big event of the day. Can you imagine what Trump's going to say? I can. It's going to be great. You can't afford to miss it. We'll be there live for it. Fantastic. Back to you, Sensei. I've got lots to do between now and the next 9 minutes. Ta-ra.
Thank you, Martyn. I knew you would do it. We've given Martyn more work. He's coming back. He's been live all day, and he's going to be back with us in literally 15 minutes time. So what we're doing, I'm going to give you the rundown. Another 10 minutes, straight to Vaz for 5 minutes of the FTOL sector, then back to Martyn for the Trump speech. Trump's speech will be live on this show, Mimau. It's in about half an hour's time, but we're covering it live with the build-up. So, to me, the rate cuts are great. I'm not FOMOing in. I'm not going crazy. I'm not going, wow, let me buy as much as I can right now. I'm already in. But to me, what it actually means is it just increases that chance a little bit more that we are going to get that altcoin season. It is still my base case that we do get an altcoin season, and we do see Ethereum go to all-time highs, and we do see XRP go to $8, and we do see altcoins season occur again. There we go. But this does increase the chances that we do get all the way to the bottom of this path to altcoin season, where it's the actual altcoin season. So let's go through some of the charts. Ethereum looks like it's about to break out from all-time highs. Can happen today. The next real target for Ethereum will be around $7,000. That's my first major bull market target where I might consider taking some profits. The first major bull market target for Ethereum is now en route as soon as we break all-time highs around $5,000 or just slightly short of $5,000. Then we're looking at $7,400, my main bull market target. That's brilliant. Ethereum season is upon us, and Ethereum looks like it's going to all-time highs. Remember, we had the Bitcoin season. Now it's Ethereum season. What happens after that? Well, we've got large caps, including something like XRP. Have my thoughts on XRP changed at all? No. I said we will top out when the SEC case comes to an end. We will go sideways in the month of August. That's all playing out. I said in September we will see all-time highs on XRP. I still believe that. I then said all-time highs in September. Why? Well, because the ETFs are coming out in October. People will front run that trade. They'll buy in September, take us to all-time highs. What levels would that possibly be? Well, between $4.20 and $4.50 potentially. And also on this chart, we look at it as well, around the sort of $4.40. That's where XRP can be going in September. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice. This is my thoughts and opinions only. Please do not buy or sell based on anything I say. That will be a very unwise decision. I'm a very high risk investor. You saw me this morning short. You saw me this morning long. You saw me the other day 50x short on Ethereum. I am very high risk. No one should be as high risk as I am, potentially anyway. So XRP, nothing really changes. We didn't get the $2.62. We got close previously at $2.73. Anyway, the range is between $2.62 and $3.40 for August. My thoughts haven't changed on that. I still think we're going to be range bound. September all-time highs, October when the ETFs come out, maybe a sell the news, but then a continuation once the inflows come out. There's a lot of other altcoin ETFs, about 3 or 4 other altcoin ETFs, Solana, Avalanche, Litecoin. I'm definitely missing one, but they're all going to come out. I'm very confident that they will be approved in October. I'm literally 100% confident that the XRP ETF will be approved in October. And for that reason, everyone's going to be buying up that news in September, in my opinion, and we'll get to all-time highs in September. October, sell the news, but then a continuation once the inflows come out. Then somewhere between November, we'll probably see the small caps go parabolic. And that's what we're going to be navigating all together. So make sure you are subscribed for this. Make sure you are hitting the like button as well. MSK is in the chat. Welcome in, MSK, a member for over 2 years. Thank you for being here. Matt Dillon is also here, member for over 6 months. I'm confused. Isn't Sensei someone that's highly intelligent or highly skilled? JK lol ATS. A Sensei is a martial arts sort of teacher. That's what a Sensei is. Anyway, Trump, so it's like a teacher. Anyway, Trump might talk about the war situation possibly between Russia and Ukraine, says Noni, a member for over 2 years. Thank you, Noni, for being with us. Yes, he very much could be. Could it be the end of the war? We don't know. Could he be talking about rate cuts? Maybe. Anyway, we'll be covering it live on the show in 35 minutes' time. Actually, before that, let me go through some more of these charts. So XRP, we've done XRP. Bitcoin, the king of the market. Never forget about Bitcoin. It came down, tested 112,000, literally to the T. Now it's back up. We do want to see Bitcoin create some new all-time highs with these rate cuts upon us, or depending how the market prices us all in. We'll probably get to 125 to 130,000, and then reach our bull market targets first major bull market target's about 145,000. We could start topping out there. The good news about what's happened today is it does really bring down the chances that we've already topped out this bull market. And it does look like the momentum shifting back to upside. But remember, never FOMO. Maybe this gets priced in tomorrow and we'll be back down to where we are today. I don't think so, but always be prepared for that scenario. Gold is also up. I know a lot of people like the investments in gold. Look at this. Gold up over 1%. It was in the newsletter. We're covering it. Gold is becoming more attractive with interest rates going down. Gold is in a massive uptrend. What it's doing now is it's consolidating. What we call this in the charting world is a continuation pattern. A big move up, potentially a bull flag, but let's just call it a continuation pattern. That's all a bull flag really is anyway. It's a continuation. You're consolidating, then you're moving on to up to your next target. So gold is having a great day, and silver is actually outperforming gold today as well, up 2.2%. We love gold and silver on this channel as well. The S&P 500 is up 1.5%, potentially reaching all-time highs today. So the markets are loving it. Don't FOMO in. Don't think that's financial advice. I gave you the synopsis of what's happened in today's Powell meeting. Remember, it's not an FOMC meeting, but we got very good indications that we will get a rate cut. One of the better scenarios that we were looking at this morning. Remember, we got prepared for this. That's why we did our show this morning. We do it every single trading morning. We said... We literally went through every single possibility. We went through all the news of today. We got literally 90% of it right. We talked about what they would say about independence. I told you what he would say about the strategic ambiguity, data driven. I told you what he would say about what could be the hawkish stance, what could be the dovish stance. I said he would say a mixture of both, but he will probably talk about one a bit more. There was no way I knew which one he would talk about more. I was slightly in the camp that he would talk about tariff-driven inflation a bit more, but what he actually focused on was the labour market, and that was fine. As soon as I heard that, I switched my position. He was a bit more dovish in his tone, which allowed for this to occur. If you do want the newsletter, every single morning we give you everything you need to know, whether it's about getting ready for a specific event like the Jackson Hole Jerome speech, whether it's a stock review, a stock that we're finding interesting, a crypto review, whether it's about the FOMC minutes, whether it's about Nvidia earnings we're going to be doing a deep dive on, getting prepared for all these major issues or major events, macro events, recession events. I also, the newsletter from the day before, it gives you all my views, and they haven't really changed at all, on where I think the market will be going forward. All the risks, what that would mean for the Fed reaction, the retail investor implications, what my base case is, what I'm giving the most probability to, which is 2 to 3 cuts by the end of the year, and that was confirmed today. So my base case was right. I still am assigning a 60% probability to that. What does that look like? It looks like growth stocks will go up. It looks like crypto will be supported by risk on sentiment, and it will be a soft landing scenario. The other two scenarios are here. Upside under inflation, a 25% probability where tariffs stick, expectations on anchor, and a 15% probability of a job collapse. The job collapse would be a hard landing. That would be sort of a V-shaped recovery. We get a massive recession, everyone sells out, then the printers turn on, quantitative easing, all that sort of stuff. I give you all of this information in the newsletter every day. It doesn't stop at the deep dives. We give you all the top news. So whether it's the bullish stablecoin IPO news, whether it's the digital euro shift, the Putin peace terms, the Nvidia China pivot, the Microsoft AI warning, you get all of these stories as a full section every single day in your inbox, or the app, or the web page, whatever you prefer, and you also get the chart of the day. So what I would do is I'll give you the link for this newsletter.
Through a super chat. Can you do a Solana chart and prediction?
I will try and do it in 30 seconds because we've got Vaz's going live. So here we go. Could it not be more than 3 cuts? No, I don't think there'll be more than 3 cuts this year. Anyway, if you want that newsletter, there is a link. 1 week free trial. I definitely recommend you go and get it. Let's quickly do Solana for you, Solana USD, and then we're going over to Vaz. So Solana next event, is that started yet? Let me have a look. It will begin shortly. There we go. So Solana is coming up to its resistance, but once it passes that, I do expect the first bull market target to be past all-time highs towards $417. I don't have time to spend any more time on that. Thank you everyone for tuning in. The newsletter link is down below. What we're doing now, we're going over to Vaz. Do not tune out. Vaz is telling us about a new sector. If you missed crypto when it started, if you missed Tesla when it was at $10, well, you don't want to miss the FTOL space, and we've got some very interesting news. It's 5-minute long video on this channel. You'll go straight there. You'll watch that for 5 minutes, and then what will happen exactly after that video ends, Martyn is going back live with the Trump speech. We're not stopping today. Straight to Vaz, watch that for 5 minutes. You might not like it, you might love it. I'm sure you will love it because it's a new industry, and I'm sure everyone here is proactive in their investments and they want to know about new industries. So that will happen for 5 minutes. Straight after that ends on the same channel, Martyn will be going live again for the Trump news. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'll see you again shortly. Same channel pinned above. I'll give you the link. See you in a second. Back with Vaz, then Martyn. Bye-bye.